everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. Today's tutorial is going to focus on the picture on the screen. Okay, so you can see is a bustier with yoke, and this is actually a special kind of yoke. I decided to make this video to show you guys how to go about this particular yoke attachment to your bustier. So looking at my pattern, like I always tell you, the pattern drafting is all about your bodies. So whatever thing you want to create for your dress, you have to start it off from your basic pattern. So for this particular tutorial, we are going to focus on the upper bodies. We want to talk about our pattern drafting from the shoulder to the waistline. This is the waistline or your front length. Okay, so you can see me, I have the sketches of my vertical measurements, putting my tape on the shoulder to the chest, to the bust point. This is the bust point, this is the under bust point, and this is my waistline. So this is the chest line. Okay, so if you have been following my videos, you can see that the chest line is determined using your bust circumference divide by 6 plus 1.5. With this, you can get your chest line, and you take the measurement after 1 inch drop. Whatever result you have here, you put your tape here and measure up to this point for your chest line. Okay, so I'll be dropping the link on how to make a basic bodice on the description box below, in case you don't know how to make an appropriate basic bodice. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comments on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Okay, so now we want to start off this tutorial right away. So the first thing I've done is marking out my vertical measurements, which you have seen right here. So it's time for us to start imputing the horizontal measurements. So this is my center front. Please, I want you to take note. This is the center front. So I want to start off from the neckline measurement. If you look at the picture on the screen, is a turtleneck. Okay, so it's a mandarin collar neck, which I've already taken 3.5 by 3.5. So to get your accurate collar neck, if you really want your neckline not to choke you, you will be using your bust. Whatever your bust is, divide by 12. The result, whatever you have as the result, that is what you are going to measure as your neck depth and your neck width and your neck depth. So bust divide by 12, result, you measure from here and also measure from here to form your actual neckline that will not choke you. Okay, all right, beautiful people. So now we want to proceed. We want to go ahead to this tutorial proper. So the first thing I want to do right here is to divide my seam line, my shoulder seam line, from the armhole line to here. I'm going to divide it and find the midpoint. So once I divide it right now, this is my midpoint right here. So this midpoint, I'm going to connect it straight to the bust point. Okay, so I've connected it to the bust point right now. So this is the bust point. You can see the bust line that is taking my tape from shoulder to my nipple point. This is the line, and my bust span divide by 2 from the center front. Bust span divide by 2 wherever they meet. That is where I connected this line. Okay, so all this line is the bust span measurement. From the bust span divide by 2, I dropped it exactly on the waistline. So the first thing we want to do is to determine the yoke part of this dress. So to determine the yoke part of this dress, simply from your shoulder line, just come down from your shoulder. Okay, let me just do this because it actually works perfectly well. The first thing you want to do is to determine our bust radius. The bust radius is difference between your bust point and your underbust. So here I have the difference of 3.5. All I'm going to do is to rotate the 3.5. I'll just rotate it. This will serve as a guide, okay? It's going to serve as a guide to show exactly where the bust will, the bust is going to sit. So that will also help you to know if you are going to expose, your bust is going to be exposed or not. So once you have this circle, dots from the bust point, you can see from the bust point line by the bust span divided by 2. I'm making my difference of bust point and underbust. From here to here, the difference, I rotated it all around. So you can see, I will measure from my shoulder now to this. You can see I have it at 7 inches. So I will just come up at 6 inches, okay? That is 1 inch above your bust point, and this works perfectly well. So this is going to be the part at which I'm going to have my bust tightening, my upper bust tightening. So now we'll first of all tighten our under bust before we talk about tightening the upper bust. So from the shoulder I came down by 6 inches, or once you draw your bust radius, just come up from that point by 1 inch, okay? All right, so for the under bust tightening, this is what we have right here, and I'm going to first of all impute my waist, okay? I'm imputing the waist measurement and the darts before we contour our under bust. So my waist measurement here is 36 divided by 4. I have 9 inches. I'll add 1 inch for that. So 1 inch is my waist dart. I'm making use of 1 inch waist dart, so everything here is 10 inches. So I'm going to connect the 10 inches right now to the marking of my bust divided by 4. Okay, so I have to complete this before I tighten my bust. So you can see the full bodice is right there. So remember we added 1 inch to the waist here. I will share the 1 inch half and half. From the bust point, I'll just simply come down by 1.5. And I'm going to connect my dart. This is my basic waist dart. Can you see that? That is the basic waist dart. So having this basic waist dart right now, it makes it very easy for us to contour our under bust firmly or perfectly. And I want you to, watch what I'm going to do. So from the center front line, I'm going to place my tape on the under bust by the center front line. I'm taking my under bust very firmly. I took my tape around my under bust very, very firmly. And I divided by 4. This is my result here. Taking round my bust firmly, divide by 4. This is what I have here as my results. Can you see? So I measured everything, as you can see, from beginning all the way to till I stop. I did not skip anything. So now this is what I have remaining. From here to here is 1 inch. I'm going to share 0.25 from here. I'll put 1/4 inch, okay? Please, no matter your size, no matter what you get, even if you get it 2 inches, you got 1.75. Here I have 1 inch. Always put 1/4 inch on the part going to the center front line. Whereas the rest of it, which is 0.75, because I have 1 inch, I took away 1/4 inch. I have 0.75 or 3/4 on this part. So now you can see I placed my tape at the outer that leg. I didn't start from the middle point. Please watch where I place my tape on this part, and from here, from the outer that I marked 1/4 and 3/4, 2 of them making it the 1 inch we have in here. So now it's time for us to contour, and I want you to watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to contour this part first. You can see how I place my ruler, and in fact my ruler has taken its position already. I will place my ruler to touch the bust point line, touch where my dart started, and touch this line. Can you see? So I have to make sure it's on that line. Everything has to be on this line for a perfect contour line. So you can see I've contoured it, and I'll place it this other way, making sure it touches there. Okay, make sure you touch. You can see what I'm doing, trying to position it. Can you see? So the line I have here touches there, touches this point, and touches the midpoint. This touch here, that is how to contour your line. So now I'm going to take this line directly and bringing it back to where I have my dart, and from here I'll bring it back to where I have my dart, and we are done. So we are done with our contouring. Okay, so it does not affect anything, replacing whatever, it does not affect anything. So all you are going to do is once you are sewing, you add 1.5 or 2 inches. In case you are afraid you might have a shortage, but you are not going to have any shortage. It's just perfect the way it is. Okay, all right people, so now the next thing we want to talk about is the upper bust contouring. And for the upper bust contouring tightening right now, I'm going to, this is the line that meets this line, that is the shoulder line meeting the line of our yoke. I'm going to shear from this point. I'll go out by 3/4, and from this point I'll come out by 3/4. So once I do that, I shear 3/4 3/4 together, I have it as 1 inch. So now I'll place my ruler. Can you see how I'm placing my ruler to the bust point like this? I'll flip it this other way to the bust point like this. Can you see? All right, so once that is done, we've contoured the upper bust. So it's time to create the neckline which is carrying this yoke. So to create the neckline right now, I'm going to determine where I want my neckline to be. Okay, so from the neck region, that is from the neck region, I'll just come down by 3.5 inches. So as I'm coming down by 3.5 inches, please note I'm also checking where I have my bust. Okay, so I don't have to, you know, tamper with my bust or expose my bust too much. So if you see from this line, what I did is just to come down by 1 inch. Okay, so you can just take the tape on your neckline on the body and determine where you want your neck depth to be. So whatever thing you have from your neck on your body, wherever you want your neck to be is your choice. Then you have to place it on that point. I believe you understand what I just explained. So now I'm going to place my tape to form that neckline. Okay, we are forming that particular neckline. So you can see how I placed my rule. I placed my ruler to pass the neckline desired, the first contour line, and it also passed through the mid armhole. This is the mid armhole. So I'm just going to rule my line. I changed my marker using a green marker, so I'll have to differentiate what I'm doing right here. So this is the mid armhole. I'm still extending. I'm still going to extend my line because I'm going to take the measurements of this particular line, and of course you are going to see how we are going to do that. So for now, this is exactly what we have right now. So the next thing I want to do, I'm going to extend the contour line to touch this line right now. So I placed my ruler like this when I contour this line. Okay, so I'm going to extend it right away to touch this line. Can you see that? So once I cut off, I'll be able to contour my line. So right now, the next thing we want to talk about now, I'm going to replace the dart I have here because therein once we close up here, we'll be having some shortages at that point. So I have 1.5 here, which I'm going to replace right away. Okay, so I will come over from here, from this point. This is where I'm replacing from. Okay, from this point armhole, I'll come out and replace my that. So once that is done, I'm going to recreate my armhole. Okay, so I'm going to recreate my armhole. So I want you to watch how I'm recreating my armhole. I'm not putting it my ruler tool in. All right, so now this is bodice 1 and this is bodice 2. So once that is cut off right now, you can see the replacement of our armhole. So we don't have any shortage at that point. Okay, so now it's time for us to talk about the yoke. The yoke part of this dress. Okay, this is the yoke part of this dress. And you can see that the yoke part of this dress has an extension outside the main bodice, and that is the main reason I'm making this tutorial for you. So for us to achieve this particular yoke part of the dress right now, we are going to take the measurement of the round shoulder. What I mean is placing your tape around your shoulder on the part at which the yoke is going to start. I'll just put my tape around the shoulder, and here I have 42 inches when I take my round shoulder. So this particular 42 inches I have here, this is what I'm going to do. From this armhole, okay, I'm taking my tape on this neckline like this. Can you see? Okay, if I put it on a straight course, I'll have a 6.75. If I put it the way it is, I have 7 inches. So we'll just use 7 inches. So on the bodice from here to the center front is 7 inches. Now 7 inches is a quarter of this body. I'm going to do 7 is a quarter times 4, which will make it a full body, which is 28 inches. Now the round shoulder is 42. I'll take away 28 from it, and here I have if I take 1 to this, that is 12. Take away 8 from it, I'll have 4. Okay, 3 is remaining, so I have 14 inches. This 14 inches right now is going to be the extension of that yoke. The extension of that yoke from here by 4. So I will divide 14 by 4 again, and I'll have 3.5. So people, I'm going to measure from here. Note where I'm taking my measurement from. This is for the yoke, not for the bodies. We've already replaced 1.5 for the bodies, and you can see I reconnected my armhole for it. So now we are talking about the yoke. The yoke has nothing to do with the shortage of this and all that. The yoke remains the same. So I'm going to start measuring from here at 3.5, and this is where I have my 3.5, and I'm going to stop. So people, the next thing I'm going to do is to curve in from my shoulder. My shoulder line right now, I'm going to extend the shoulder slant so we'll be able to get this curve appropriately. Okay, so I'll just make a little extension with a dotted line. Okay, so this is the shoulder slant, and I'll just place my ruler like this. Okay, you can see this is how the arm curves. I'll place my ruler, making sure I have that extension touch this end of my line and touch this shoulder slant line. Okay, so once that is done, that is how the arm curves. Okay, once you wear it on the dress, it curves like that. Okay, so now I will connect. Can you see? That is the arm connection at that point. So, and this is the yoke. All right, and we are done. So all we are going to do now, once I cut off this, we can now attach our yoke perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to cut it off. So coming over to the mandarin collar, please, I have a video on that. Okay, I have a 12, how to make a 12 pieces 12 pieces blouse, okay, with mandarin collar. So I'll be dropping the link on the description box below. Please make sure you follow. By the end of the video, that is where I drafted the mandarin collar. So follow that video and make the mandarin collar for this particular bodice. So now I want to cut out what I have here, and we'll be placing this yoke on fold when we are cutting. So this yoke here is going to be on fold. I have my fold sign here, and this one will also be on fold. So right here I have F1 and this is F2. So this particular bodice, I'm going to cut 2 times of it, while this is going to be cut on fold. So once it is cut on fold, both our yoke, the back is also going to share same yoke. Okay, so drafting the back right now is going to be the same yoke. The focus of this tutorial is on the front bodice, okay, but for the back bodice you are going to make use of exactly the same yoke, but the only difference is that the neckline, I'll just demonstrate to you how the neckline is going to be. The neckline, I'll just come down. If you need it a high neck, you can go by 1 inch and reconnect back. Okay, you reconnect back to the neckline. Okay, since it's a turtleneck, of course it's going to be taken at 1 inch. Okay, so but the yoke remains the same. Okay, and you have your zipper running all the way from this point. You add your zipper allowance to the end. Remember the back bodies, there is no you might use a dart, just a normal dart, or you might just, you know, sew it without a dart. Okay, any of them works perfectly well. But once you cut out this yoke, please cut it out and trace out the back neckline before you cut the front neckline. So right now I'm going to cut this bodice. I'm cutting this beautiful bodice right now. Okay, so I'm cutting through the center front. I'll first of all cut for the back. Okay, once I'm cutting on my fabric, I'll first of all cut this yoke for back first. Okay, so you can see how I'll cut it. Okay, now, okay, we have something we've not done, soulmates. Okay, and please don't forget, this is very important for a good bustier. That is the bust dart. So for the bust dart now, from the bust point, I'll come down by 2 inches because the difference between my front length and back length is 2 inches. So I'll share the 2 inches by 2, that is having 1 inch 1 inch. I will connect and come out by 0.5 or 0.75. I'll connect back, bring this back to the 0.5 and take it back to the chest line, that is to accommodate my dart. Okay, so this is very important right now. So I will just cut from here. I've already started cutting, so I'll just seal it up. I've sealed it up, and now I'm cutting through the new armhole line. Okay, so now I will cut through my bust contour line to separate the bodies. I'll cut through here. Okay, taking away the darts I don't need, and here, can you see that? So now this is the front bodice, and once I close up my bust dart, right now, I applied my adhesive, and I'll take this bust dart and close it up on the bust point line to give it that bust dart effect. So now this is what we have, people. and this is the yoke. So you can see the yoke right now is matching up from here. Once I attach here, okay, I'm just showing you how it's going to look once you sew this to this right now. Okay, you can see the measurement from here to here will be the 3.5. Can you see that? Okay, so the measurement is at that 3.5. Can you see? So that is it. And this part we are going to attach our sleeve. So to attach the sleeve right now, this is my basic sleeve, which I'm going to attach on this part. But because we've already gotten this particular sleeve, we've gotten this part of the sleeve has already been gotten from here. Okay, so I'm going to take the measurement of what I have right here at the from here to here to connect this part. Okay, so this is the front part of this sleeve and this is the back piece of this sleeve. So I'll just measure from the shoulder line at 4 inches. I have it exactly at the midpoint. So I'll just come over to this point, to my armhole line where I'm supposed to attach this sleeve normally, and I'll take my tape around and find the midpoint. So in fact, I have the midpoint here already. You can see the mark of my midpoint somewhere here on the basic sleeve. Okay, so now I'm going to take my tape from the midpoint I took at 4 inches. I will take it from here at 3.5. So I'll keep positioning it till I have it at 3.5. Can you see? So this is it at 3.5. So I'm going to cut off my sleeve. I will cut off my sleeve at this point. Can you see? So once it's cut off, let me bend it this other way. Okay, so I'm going to attach the sleeve. The sleeve will be attached. After sewing, this part of the sleeve will be attached and this part will now go into the armhole. I believe you understand what we just did here. Okay, so you can see that. So this part has to be, this part is 4 inches midpoint. You take your tape on this part at 4 inches. Position your tape from that point. Anywhere it falls at 3.5, because what we have from here is 3.5. Anywhere it falls at this point, you connect and cut it off from that point. So the remaining part of this sleeve is this part you are seeing like here. You can see it's matching up already. So once I sew this sleeve into here and fold in this part, it runs all the way to this point, as you can see. Okay, so that is it, people, and we are done with this tutorial. So if I'm ready, if I'm done cutting off my back neckline for my yoke, the yoke for back is going to be 2 times because of the zipper, but the yoke for front is cut, will be cut on fold. So let me just cut out the front neckline because that is the basic the main reason for this tutorial. So I'll just cut, after I must have cut the back yoke, I will cut off this and cut my yoke. Okay, so that is it and we are done. So thank you very much for coming once again to this tutorial. So another thing I want to mention to you is from the bust point, you can see we have a lot of shortage. So I want to replace this shortage right now. As I've already merged it up now, I'll place a piece of paper, okay, that will be able to accommodate. So this is the bust point line for the both of them. All you need to do is to merge them. Place a piece of paper under it like this. Can you see? Okay, so I'll just use my adhesive on that point so it sticks at that point before I finish up the contour line. Okay, so I have to redo it again. From the bust point, I'll keep merging like this. Once I get here, I'll put a piece of paper with my adhesive. Okay. All right, so now you can see everything is matching up right away. So now I'm going to, okay, let me push it a little more because I need to get this accurately. Okay, all right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'll just extend this line. I'm going to extend this line, and I'll place my ruler and reconstruct the neckline. So I will reconstruct my neckline following exactly this neckline. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, coming from exactly where I have my neckline. So you can see that gap has been filled. So when you are cutting, you don't have a shortage. Okay, so this is very important you do that so you don't have any shortage. So now I'll cut from the neckline to meet up with this. So once you sew, you can see the two neckline are already there. So I'll separate it again because we are cutting the two together separately. Okay, so this is it, people, and this is our bodice, and this is the yoke. So once we sew on this yoke, bring this together, we'll bring in our sleeve and attach from here to here, the rest from here to here. Right, beautiful people, so that is how we come to the end of this beautiful yoke bustier tutorial. Okay, so we have our Telegram online classes going on. Okay, so you can click on the link below. I'll be dropping the link of our WhatsApp group on the description box below. Okay, if you want to learn more on different kinds of outfits and sewing innovations, please click on the link on the description box below. Okay, I will drop the link in there, and I'll also drop the link to the basic bodies and the 12 pieces bustier blouse for you to learn how to make your mandarin collar. Thank you for coming once again, and see you in my next video. Bye.